All right, guys, it is an absolute beautiful day. Let's go for a ride. Alright, I know what some of you are thinking. What bike is this? What happened to the other bike? Well, the other bike has a little bit of a voltage draw because the head unit is not quite right. And I had it hooked up to a trickle charger, and I didn't realize the socket and the wall had tripped out. So that bike is dead. And I know you might be wondering, you know, long time followers of this channel might be wondering, well, what bike is this? Ooh. And I will tell you, don't worry about that. That question will be answered in the future. Can't talk about this bike quite yet. But anyways, let's get to the topic at hand. Myrtle Beach Bike Week versus Smoky Mountain Bike Week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and preface this video by saying I'm not going to tell you one is better than the other. I will just tell you my experience, and you can infer whatever you like. Okay, so let's start with Myrtle Beach Bike Week. Now, I'm not going to bore you. Oh, I think we just lost our license plate. Alright, we gotta go back to the house and fix this. We're gonna have to go slow. I just got that license plate today. That plate had these stupid hell yeah brother middle finger things on them, and they didn't look like they're very strong. I tried to tighten them down as best I could, and evidently they fell off. So let's limp this back to the house so I don't beat up the rear fender back there, and I guess we'll continue our conversation as I go. So anyways, I'm not going to bore you with the Wikipedia facts of Myrtle Beach Bike Week. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts. Myrtle Beach Bike Week is a party. That's pretty much what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They have a spring and fall. Now, this year, or I guess next year, or last year, Smoky Mountain Bike Week started. And I don't know if it was the same weekend last year, but this year, Smoky Mountain Bike Week was the same week as the fall rally for Myrtle Beach. And I've been to the fall rally of Myrtle Beach plenty of times. Here's the deal. It got a bad rap for a long time. A lot of rowdy stuff went on. And for a while, the local government, the local city was trying to push the bike week out. They really didn't like the bikers being in the city of Myrtle Beach. Now today, most of what goes down is actually in Murrells Inlet. It's just outside. Most popularly, the Beaver Bar, Suck Bang Blow, and Spokes and Bones, and there is the Rat Hole. Those are the places that most everyone goes for the rally. Suck Bang Blow and the Beaver Bar being the most popular. And it's just a little cove, really. You can actually walk from Suck Bang Blow to the Beaver Bar. Now, I will tell you, there is a lot of traffic, and it's not just cars down there. There's a lot of people down there anyways. during bike week, I'm going to be honest here, there's a lot of bikers who don't know how to ride. It just is what it is. You can tell. There's a lot of people who bring their bikes out for their 1, 2, or 3 rides a year, and I cannot tell you how many times I have been cut off by another biker who is just riding like an asshole or legitimately cannot ride. Okay, we had hoped to go for a ride, but you guess what? Both bikes are just acting mad. So you know what? We're going to take that as a hint. We're just going to stay home today. Just in case that is an omen. And we're going to get through this together. Yeah, check the bolts. They're gone. And there were stupid little tiny, like, Chinesium bolts that came on the bike for that license plate. So we're going to get some more probably tomorrow and fix that problem. But anyways, enough about that bike. Let's get back on task. So, Myrtle Beach Bike Week. It is a party, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know multiple bartenders down there. I know multiple people down there. It's a great time. I love to go down there, hang out with people I've not seen in a long time. I call it my rally family because being a vendor, I do travel from place to place. I was down for Myrtle Beach Bike Week in the spring, and I got to see some friends. I enjoyed it. I will say the riding sucks. The weather can be very fluctuating. Spring, it can be super hot. It can be rainy. And fall, it can be pretty cold at times and rainy. So it is what it is. Now let's get to Smoky Mountain Bike Week. It's the first time I've been there. It's the second bike week they have done. And it's the same time as Myrtle Beach. So, what do you have up there? Well, there you have a Harley-Davidson dealer, Smoky Mountain Harley, where everything is centered. Everything is kind of centered there. And at that Harley shop, you have a thing called the Shed. The Shed is like a venue for concerts and whatnot, and it's pretty nice. It's set up where they do concerts year-round, not even Harley stuff, just concerts. They got bathrooms, they got a bar, they got everything set up just to do concerts, whether the Harley shop's open or not. So that's kind of cool. Now, why they didn't have any like huge bands, they had Jackal, whatever, not really my thing, but they did have Jackal on Saturday night. You had to pay for that though. Myrtle Beach, usually you don't have to. Yeah, so that is one thing that I was kind of surprised you had to pay for that. But they have that all there. Now you do have what they call the vendor mall, which is kind of just at the mall, and they had a bunch of vendors. I never even went over there to check it out. We did see it. I heard that not a lot of people went over there. You have Dream Rides. That's a local shop, heavy in the performance scene now. They had some vendors, and they had an after party Saturday night. Also why nobody my age went to go see Jackal. So, what do you have there also? You're not at a beach with a bunch of traffic. You're near the Dragon. So yeah, you're in Maryville, Tennessee. You're near Sevierville. You're near Gatlinburg. You're near the Dragon. You're near all these beautiful rides. Not only is it beautiful getting there, it's beautiful while you're there. You're in the mountains. I think Smoky Mountain Harley is a huge contender, or Smoky Mountain Bike Week, for being a really good bike week, especially for those people who want to ride. Can you party? Of course you can. Now, the downtown, I heard, again, we didn't make it down there. We were vendors. There's really like only one bar, and it's not as much of a nightlife at Smoky Mountain. But if you want to ride, beautiful. Beautiful place to be. For the most part, a lot of people were showing up in the morning, meeting up with friends, and taking off and going for a ride. And that's what it should be, right? And then they showed back up in the afternoon or whatever. So yeah, Smoky Mountain Bike Week was phenomenal. Is it better than Myrtle Beach Bike Week? It's gonna be up for you to decide. I'm not gonna say it's better. I'm gonna say it's different. Do I still enjoy going down to Dirty Myrtle and having a good time? Yes. how I would prefer to do it, it'd be more fun if you had friends down in Myrtle that you want to party with, hang out, stay up late, have a great time, whatever. Nothing wrong with that. I love to go see my rally family. Cool. Smoky Mountain Bike Week is better if you have friends that like to ride, or if you want to go by yourself and meet up with some cool people who really like to ride. Smoky Mountain Bike Week is growing. I will say at Myrtle Beach, the Harley Davidson doesn't have a lot to do with it anymore. It's kind of on its own thing. Some people go to the Harley shop in Myrtle Beach. I go just to look around. I don't hang out there. I don't buy anything there. I don't do anything there. It's super packed, whatever vendors, and it is what it is. And then the Harley shop that has all the bikes is an hour north in terrible traffic. So again, you just go to the bar and hang out. Nothing wrong with that. I love it. I still will continue to go. Smoky Mountain Bike Week, though, I'm intrigued. I think they did a really good time this year. I'm not saying it in such a way where I think Smoky Mountain Bike Week is better. Yes, it is the last one I went to. I think it's really cool, but I think it's cool for a different reason. I hope next year, what I'd love to do is stay an extra day and do a bunch of the rides on Sunday. Being a vendor, I don't get to always do that. But I would love to hear your feedback on each rally. What do you think of Myrtle Beach? What do you think of Smoky Mountain Bike Week? I will say it like this. And again, this is to decide not which one is better, but which one is better for you. Myrtle Beach Bike Week, you're going to see a lot of big wheel baggers. You're going to see people who throw money at their bike to look at it in a parking lot. Not saying that's good or bad. I'm just going to say what it is. You're not going to find that as much at Smoky Mountain Bike Week. I didn't even notice it, but my wife saw one big wheel bagger at Smoky Mountain. That's it. One. There was a lot more performance bikes at Smoky Mountain. That being said, I know one of the shops at SBB, a motorcycle shop at Suck Bang Blow, stunts. I've been to the stunt lot. I've seen them. They are rad dudes. But what comes with that territory is you got a lot of people like just showing off. And that's the crowd you're going to get. It's a lot of money to look at bikes in a parking lot. Now, don't get me wrong. At Smoky Mountain Bike Week, there were some bikes that were high dollar. But most of those people would still hop on that bike and rip up and down the mountain. So the question comes, which one would you rather go to? That being said, I'd really appreciate if the two bike weeks did not do it the same week. Because that sucks, right? You got a lot of people who are able to go to both. Maryville, Tennessee and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is not that far apart from each other. Maryville's 6 hours from me. Myrtle Beach is 4 hours from me. It's not that bad. I could shoot to either one for a long weekend. I would love it if they weren't the same week. Because there's benefits to both. As of right now, from what I can see, there is not a traveling bartender circuit. There is not really a party scene at Smoky Mountain because they have their own bar and grill at the stage or the shed at the Harley shop. So they wouldn't need contract out bartenders. And honestly, there wasn't enough people to be slinging drinks like that. They had a couple like beer booths, but other than that, like they had it under control. But I would love to hear your feedback and see where things are going. I think both bike weeks have their own unique flavor. It just depends on which flavor you like the best. If you have watched to this point, you might as well hit that like button. I and the universe would greatly appreciate it. We definitely need to get back on these bikes and figure out what is going on. Got parts falling off and batteries not cooperating. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And as always, keep it wretched.